lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway. We are live here for some phenomenal short track racing action here with the Virtual American Short Track Tour. This is the Larry Arts Production 120 here at Bristol. I'm Liam Irvig, joined up in the booth by none other than Corey B. Corey, how are you feeling today?
Pretty good. It's going to be a beautiful night of racing here in Bristol. And a little bit of different format this week. They have eliminated the LCQ. Going to take 26 total drivers out of 2 different heat races. So, should be pretty good.
Yes, sir. It should be fantastic. We're watching Justin Sipes come up off of the pit lane. See a couple more exciting moments here on track before the practice session finishes up. But Corey, I tell you what, we've got guys running faster than I've ever seen. 14:30, 14:31 for second and third and fourth. These guys up in the top 5 are absolutely all over each other in terms of lap times.
Yeah, and if we take a note, we see Mo Perry on the pit road wall. Not sure what he's doing. He's like bouncing up and down inside of that number 54 car. He finally decided he was tired of doing dance. Thank you, Mo.
And 2 minutes left of practice here, and this is one of our favorite tracks to call races at. Corey, I know this is one of your favorites here to watch, especially with these late model, super late models rather. A little bit different show than we're going to see than, say, like the Cup cars and the Xfinity cars. These guys have a lot of downforce. The mid-corner speed's going to be super high. Not to mention, this is a very wide racetrack in terms of raceable lanes. That progressive banking is going to allow some of these guys to run up top, run down on the bottom. Where do you think is going to be the predominant line here throughout the course of the day?
Well, early on in the race, it should be the bottom groove. Even in the heat races, it's going to be bottom groove. It's, oh my, look at that in the back. Somebody went flying. But that high side might come in past halfway anyways.
Yeah, especially as it gets darker. We'll take a look at some of our race facts for right now. We'll take a look at the weather first off. It's about 6 after 5 o'clock, or rather that's 7 o'clock. So expect the lights to come out, the sun to go down here throughout the course of the race. 85-degree track temp. Of course, this session's set for mid-May. Might leave us a little bit longer in terms of how long the sun is gonna stay out. We've got a half-mile oval, turns 1 and 2 just a hair tighter than 3 and 4. A lot of people don't know that fact, that these corners are not equal. Turns 1 and 2 is going to be a little bit tighter up on the exit versus 3 and 4. You're really able to use up a lot more racetrack as you see Danny Cochran in the background trying to use up all the racetrack he can. Tail slapping the wall. But the Larry Arts Productions 120 at Bristol is going to feature 2 15-lap heats. The top 13 advance from both heats. Forgive me on this graphic. The top 13 are going to advance from both heats, so we'll have a 26-car feature. If we've got any go or go homers, that's going to be decided in the heat races as these cars get ready to start qualifying.
I do believe we did get the 26 exactly at this point, unless somebody joins late in qualifying. And let's go on with Sean Huffsteller, see what he can do for qualifying here.
Huffsteller rocking that Mopar number 9.
Got 100% tape on that front grill. Oh my, that is a lot of tape. But that's what you need for qualifying. Here we go. Huffsteller, he's going to see that green flag once he comes out of turn number 4 for one of his first 3 laps here. See what he can set down.
And a phenomenal camera angle here. It's almost like a drone. You see, we're not quite set in a fixed position here on the number 9, but he's rocking coming up off of turn number 4. Going to cross the line for his first of 3 qualifying laps allotted in this series. You see Mason Cassidy fastest right now in the 71. Ali Fonseca, now Thomas Green passing him.
I see a lot of early risers here in the first lap of qualifying. Green right now holding it down on the top of the board with a 14.342.
And Huffstetter get any quicker with his previous lap? No, he's going to stay at a 14.47. We're going to see if Justin Sipes through 3 and 4 can improve on his time. Currently hasn't put one down yet. He comes across the line. He's going to jump up to 3rd place on the board. Now Isaac Shelley, Braxton DeWeese. DeWeese just coming up off of turn number 4 to put down his first lap. DeWeese strong last week. Got himself a podium finish. Was able to talk with us after the race, but looking for a stronger run here today.
Coming out 4 for DeWeese first lap in. A little sideways action. 3rd, top 3 so far.
Definitely what the 15 fans want to see, and we know there's been a lot of them. We see T-Fan Page 101 saying, yo, Larry's Arts Productions, saying, let's get this party started. And I tell you what, these drivers for the Virtual American Short Track Tour are ready to get this thing going here at Bristol. One of the most prestigious short tracks you could win on, race on. Everybody here wants to take home this trophy. Currently, Thomas Green sits on the pole with that 14.34. We saw Braxton DeWeese run his full qualifying run. Now, Aaron Crawdaddy, the Crawfish, getting it done here. He's going to start his first lap, see where finish his first lap, jumps up to 6th place. See if he can continue on with the speed. Owen Joyce also out on the racetrack, finishing up his 2nd lap.
Not quicker. The second lap for Owen Joyce there.
Same deal for Aaron
Couple
Crowley.
more.
Jim Duda out on the racetrack.
Duda a little bit better. Their second lap jumped up to 11th. See if he can improve here anymore on the third lap. Coming out of 4. He's trying to beat a 4.55 and no cigar.
No, sir. Dalton Creech, however, he's coming out on his first lap. We saw him in practice before we went live. Definitely trying to get everything he could, and he turned it over once or twice, using up all the racetrack, riding up on that wall. That first lap for Dalton Creech puts him top 5 with a 14:37, partner tied with Braxton DeWeese.
Maybe a little tight out of 4 there. Not going to be improved on lap 2, and he's just going to abort lap number 3 here.
Yeah,
He
Dalton
says,
Creech-
all right.
Creech is our last driver to qualify. He comes into the pits. He's going to try to reset here, see if he can get another lap in the last 45 seconds. Sitting on the pit lane, though, that looks to be about it.
Everybody's qualified. Steve Sagers did not join the server. Or he joined, but he left. So 25 cars. Everybody's going to make it into the feature no matter what. It's just, are you going to be on the inside row or the outside row, which they already know.
Yeah, that's decided here in qualifying. But how is that track position going to hold up throughout the course of the heat races? That's the big question we're asking. 13 make it in, and it looks like 26 is the max. You mentioned Steve Cigars didn't get out onto the racetrack. He's still got a chance to get out there for the heat race and start this thing, but we're going to go ahead and get her going here for heat race number 1. We've got Thomas Green, Christopher Smith, Dalton Creech, Aaron Krolick, Isaac Shelley, Jarrett Talmadge, Sean Huffstutler, Rob Hattenback, Mo Perry, Todd Lamphere, Dakota Moniz, Jim Center, and then rounding out the field here is Justin Potter in 13th. Everybody should make it through here in the Mercy Medical Transportation Dash. Thanks to them for jumping on and supporting the heat races for these guys. Of course, we've got the second heat coming up shortly, but these guys all ready to rock and rumble here for 15 laps at Bristol to decide who's going to start where on the inside line.
And every spot matters. That is one extra row you do not have to pass later on in the feature here. Got to be aggressive. Semi-aggressive. 15 laps around Bristol goes by super quick. If you blink, you might just miss it.
Yeah, we talked about in the qualifying times, these guys running 14:30 somethings. I mean, those are blazing fast laps here at Bristol.
Absolutely, that is. If they had a little bit more horsepower or a little bit more grip, I bet you we could see 13-second lap time out of these cars.
Well, who knows, as the night drags on, it's 7 o'clock right now, local time. We could see these guys under the lights potentially get down into that 13.9 second range. I mean, these guys just a couple of tenths up off of it. Thomas Green in that 3 filter time tire pros. Looks like a Dale Jr. Dirty Mo type of race car there. He's got Christopher Smith up on his outside, rocking the 21 machine. The Dalton Creech, a name we haven't seen a whole heck of a lot so far this season, showing up here. Starting in 3rd place for heat race number 1, Aaron Krolick, and then Isaac Shelley round out our top 5. Pace car's going to take that hard left turn.
There we go. Green out there, good lead. He's got the advantage over Smith. Smith's going to have to try to find a hole on the bottom and might get in the wall. He does. And somehow they don't wreck Krolick involved in that. Shelley was involved.
Yeah, I thought Shelley was getting turned towards the inside while Rob Hatback and the 32 get together, and Rob Hatback's upside down. Big crash up into turn number 1. Sounded like Adam Alexander there with the voice crack, but a huge crash in the first corner on the second lap brings out the caution for the first time here today.
Not what you want to see on lap number 2.
Huge hit out of the 22 for Jim Center.
Slim Jim ride got peeled back.
Yeah, we'll take a look here with Jim Center from the restart, or from the initial start rather. Hatback gets a little bit sideways coming up off of 4, makes contact with that 32. They both get sent up to the wall. Mo Perry involved in that one as well. The 51, Justin Potter. First caution of the day out, lap number 2 in the Mercy Medical Transportation Dash.
Luckily for all these drivers, they have no worry about not making it, as top 13 will transfer on, and there is only 13 cars.
We appreciate everybody who's tuning in right now live on Sim Racing Media here on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And go ahead and hit the bell as well. We've got 7 nights of fantastic racing a week. Make sure you don't miss a night of racing action by hitting that bell. We appreciate everybody here who's tuning in live for the Virtual American Short Track Tour, the Larry Arts Production 120. We've got ourselves the Mercy Medical Transportation Dash. 3 laps into this thing, 4 laps in now. Should be getting the 1 to green this time around.
See these drivers all anxious to already double it up. Still Thomas Green out on the point. Christopher Smith, who started second, back and forth after getting a little slideways out of turn number 4 on the initial green flag.
Yeah, I expect a lot of that throughout the course of the night here at Bristol. These cars have a lot of power under them, and we'll take another look here at the weather real quick. Still sitting at 7:06. I think that'll change once the race starts here, but 84 degree track temp compared to an 83 degree air temp. Not much difference in that. So expect these guys to have a decent amount of grip here over the course of the next 9 laps on this restart. Thomas Green ready to bring him down over Dalton Creech, and green flag back out in the air, and green for green as he's got 2 car lengths of a lead over Dalton Creech. Aaron Kralik looks to try to make a move down to the inside for 2nd place, unable to do so. We've got ourselves a heck of a battle here though mid-pack for 7th place. Todd Lamphere working the inside of Sean Huffstetler. Mo Perry trying the outside there. Sideways goes Justin Potter. Getting into turn number 1, he's going to have to relinquish the position to the 5 on his outside, Dakota Moniz.
Todd Lamphere, Mo Perry, 2x2 right now. Dakota Moniz on the attack, and that outside line might be good here for the heat race, but you're going to burn your tires up if you try to run that the entire time in the feature later on.
Look
you
at
see
how many
it
guys
work.
are hitting the wall. Rob Hattenback spins down the front straightaway. Looks like we should be able to get away without a caution. Green flag is still out on the racetrack after Rob Hattenback turns around for the 2nd time today. An unfortunate deal for him. Rather, actually, he flipped upside down the first time. This time he got turned around. We stay green as Thomas Green continues to hold it down. We've got less than 5 laps to go, 4 laps to go as we cross the line.
About 0.3 of a second over Dalton Creech right now for Green. Good advantage for him. You got to go back to Kralik, who is being pressured heavily by Isaac Shelley, and Shelley's being pressured by Christopher Smith. You got a 3-car battle for a top 3 here in the heat race.
Yeah, we absolutely do. 3 cars under a blanket with 3 laps left to go. Isaac Shelley trying to get that extra spot there on the inside row. Ever so important, as Bristol tends to be a track position game. We've seen a lot of incidents happening here over the course of this racetrack, and side by side, a little bit of contact potentially coming up off of turn number 2. 2 laps to go for your race leader, Thomas Green. He takes the white flag. Kralik and Shelley, though, still unable to get away from each other. Now here comes the 21, Christopher Smith, into the back of Shelley. Gets a bit of an angle or a bit of a gap there. Shelley does to Smith, but off of turn 4, Thomas Green wins heat race number 1, followed by Dalton Creech, Aaron Kralik, Isaac Shelley takes that spot away, Christopher Smith, Sean Huffstetler, Mo Perry, Dakota Moniz, Todd Lamphere, Jared Talmadge, Rob Hattenback, and Jim Center rounding out the field for heat race number 1. The Thank a First Responder Shootout here, the Mercy Medical Transportation Dash. This next one is the Thank a First Responder Shootout. And Corey's got the starting lineup here.
There we go. Thank a First Responder Shootout. 15 laps of distance. Everybody transfers on the pole here. It's going to be the 42 of Ollie Fonseca on his outside. You're going to see the 15 Braxton DeWeese fan favorite. And throughout this entire season, Justin Sipes, row number 2 on the inside. Danny Cochran to his outside. Row 3, you're going to see the 71 with the 17 on the door, so flip that number around. Mason Cassidy, Jim Duda to his outside. In the 53, row 4, you're going to see Thomas Walter, Brandon Elvis. Row 5, you're going to have Owen Joyce and Dominic Rossi. Row 6, you're going to see Dominic Chisholm, who won back at Myrtle Beach. On his outside, Blaze Richardson, and doesn't look like we did get Steve Seegers back on in the server. So 12 of them here for heat number 2.
These drivers try to figure out where are they going to line up on the outside lane here for the Larry Arts Productions 120 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We've got 2 laps for these guys to get ready to rock and rumble for 15 laps. I tell you what, if you're that 42 Ollie Fonseca, you gotta be feeling pretty good. You got the pole snatched away from you, but you know you've got a quick car. Justin Sipes and Braxton DeWeese being right behind you. That can't feel too great. Danny Cochran as well back there, but starting up front at Bristol, there is no better place to be.
And there's a big rivalry between that 15 and the number 2 car. Been going on ever since about Milwaukee, when we seen Danny get into the back of Braxton DeWeese. It's been carrying over throughout all the weeks since.
Yeah, we'll see if anything comes of that. Got a lot of Braxton DeWeese fans in the chat. We appreciate you guys joining us here. Once again, if there's anybody who's rooting for somebody else, we'll go ahead and put your driver on screen right now, but we appreciate the fans here for Braxton DeWeese. But Ollie Fonseca gets ready to rock and rumble here. Green flag is out, and a strong run for Braxton up on the top side. He's going to try to hold the outside. Gets a little bit sideways, has to correct coming up off of turn number 2. Put Ollie Fonseca into the lead by about half a car length. However, here comes Braxton DeWeese down to the bottom once again, unable to get that crossover done. Danny Cochran defending from Justin Sipes on the inside, unable to keep that done. But we've got a crash in the back as Dominic Rossi, rather, in a similar white and red car, has gone around to bring out the first caution of heat number 2, the Mercy Medical Transportation Dash, on lap number 2.
Get a replay up here for you. See what happened between these drivers at the back. See 19 going
around.
There's Elvis around, and Dominic Rossi in the 18. Nowhere to go.
Yeah, Owen Joyce sent down to the inside. Hard into the inside wall. Dominic Rossi gets turned around. See the 18. Blaze Richardson nowhere to go, get some contact there, but should be ready to rock and roll here for the restart in just a lap or 2.
So about the same scenario. Somebody got loose out of turn 4 and had a little wreck down in turn number 1.
The lights are still on the pace car, so we're going to go ahead and take just a quick break here. We'll be right back with the restart here in heat race number 2. Back live here. 10 laps to go. Going to be 9 to go at the restart. We've seen this one before. Ollie Fonseca, Braxton DeWeese on the front row. Green flag back in the air. We're racing once again at Bristol. Sideways gets the 15. Looks like Sipes disappeared for a moment. Got to the inside of DeWeese, and DeWeese got loose.
So we've seen the same scenario of second place in the first season. Oh my! Danny Cochran up in the wall!
Thomas Walter just turned around. Dominic Chisholm in the 18 is up and over in turns 1 and 2.
Oh, wow. Are you kidding?
Indeed, dude. This is a wild incident here. Coming through turns 1 and 2. We're going to go ahead and take another look to see what happened. Once again, back from the restart. So that all got started with Cochran and Chisholm getting sideways, and a wild rollover for the 18 right there.
Absolutely. Blaze Richardson up and over a couple of times in that 18 ride. Second caution he's been involved with already in heat number 2.
Yeah, and he just got kind of sent in there. Owen Joyce had nowhere to go but to run into the back of him. That sent him up into the outside wall hard.
And it really all started with Danny Cochran.
Yeah, Danny Cochran, one of the first ones to get sideways there. See him
Starts
through 1
kind
and
of
2.
bad.
Makes a strong run up on the top side. Outside of Justin Sipes. Smacks the wall coming up off the corner. Almost runs it over. Turns over the car there. Definitely a tough way for these guys to start this heat race, but they all have kind of the solace knowing that nobody's going to miss this one. They're all going to make the feature. Some of these guys, Thomas Walter, Blaze Richardson, going to end up starting at the back on this restart here with less than 5 laps to go. Might lead them to start at the back for the feature, which is not where you want to be. Bristol, it's going to be a long race with 120 laps, but tell you what, with these guys running as hard as they do, the bottom line, the top line, both going to be prominent throughout the course of this race. It's going to be tough to make passes. And I could imagine if calamity continues to ensue like it has so far, that's just going to be another detriment for these guys starting at the back of the field. We got Kerry Hopkins saying, let's go 15. Chris DeWeese, we always love to see you up in here. Ronnie Miller, give him hell, Brax. Allen's Art Images, also on that 15 car. Kelly Allen says, remember, respect. A lot of Braxton DeWeese fans up in the chat as the green flag is back in the air for Ollie Fonseca.
Look at Justin Sipes up on the high side trying to use that momentum. He's got the run right now on... Oh, boy.
Big run up top. He's got him at the line by just a fender. Ollie goes in deep, gets into the side of the 55, puts him into the wall. Look at Braxton DeWeese trying the inside lane. We've got just a few laps to go, 2 laps to go this time around, coming to the white flag of the Mercy Medical Transportation Dash or the Thank a First Responder Shootout. This excitement has got me losing track of which sponsor of which heat race. White flag in the air. Can Braxton DeWeese get down to the inside of Fonseca? No, he can't. Fonseca takes away heat race number 2. Thank a First Responder Dash. Braxton DeWeese in second. Justin Sipes, Jim Duda, Danny Cochran, Mason Cassidy, Owen Joyce, Brandon Elvis, Dominic Chisholm, Thomas Walter, Blaze Richardson, and Dominic Rossi round out the field there. These heat races, they end so quick, we're unable to fully give you that graphic, but we're ready to rock and rumble here for 120 laps at the world's fastest half mile. Thomas Green earns the starting spot up front with his heat race win in heat race number 1. Then Ollie Fonseca to his outside. Dalton Creech, Braxton DeWeese, Aaron Kralik, Justin Sipes, Isaac Shelley, Jim Duda, Christopher Smith, Danny Cochran, Sean Huffsteller, and Mason Cassidy rounds out row number 6.
Second half of the field here, Mo Perry in 13th, Owen Joyce 14th, Dakota Maniz back in 15th, Brandon Elvis going to line up 16th, Todd Lamphere 17th, Dominic Chisholm back in 18th, Jarrett Talmadge, I'm going to say, back in 19th, Thomas Walter 20th, Justin Potter back there in 21st, Blade Richardson back in 22nd, Robert Hattenback, who was upside down in heat number 1 there, going to roll off 23rd, Dominic Rossi 24th, and Jim Center, the last car to take a grid spot in the Slim Jim machine. It'll roll off 25th.
Justin Potter a little bit delayed there on the start. Steve Cigar's unable to get out here. So 25 cars will start this race here at Bristol.
120 laps, and it looks like we might just be under the daytime sun, as somebody didn't set up a sun movement. They magically froze the sun tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely looking that way, but it's still A-OK here on our end. It's still 7:06, and it will remain due to the glory of simulations. We've got 120 phenomenal laps up in front of you here today. Lights are off on the pace car. Thomas Green ready to lead them down for the green flag here at Bristol.
Green, good start for the night. So far won the heat. He's going to see this green flag, and both rows go at the front. Maybe not for Fonseca as he drops back. DeWeese had to drop down just to not run in the back of him. Right now they're 2x2 for second place. Give it to Fonseca for now, and Fonseca, he's going to go for the lead over Green. Sends it deep.
Huge
Maybe
move out of Fonseca down on the bottom. These guys absolutely all over the racetrack. Thomas Green relinquishes the lead. Ollie Fonseca, the new race leader, 2 laps into this thing. Braxton DeWeese down all the way on the apron. Aaron Kralik down there. Trying to get to Kralik, and every single time I click on him, it's getting him the wrong number. But Kralik keeps it straight. He's going to lose about 15 spots with that, but keeps it straight here. He's got a chance to continue on forward. We get back out to the front. We see Braxton DeWeese down to the inside of Danny Cochran, unable to complete that pass. Now he's under fire from Isaac Shelley up on the top side.
You're going to see drivers utilize the outside lane here, but the thing with utilizing it, it will burn those tires up a whole lot quicker than your competitors.
Back out to the front. Ollie Fonseca had to defend there from Thomas Green. Green got down to the inside. Might have been a little bit of contact, but Ollie Fonseca able to hold on to the race lead right now. So far, we're only 6 laps into this thing, completing the 6th lap this time around. Ollie Fonseca, strong start, but Thomas Green, the pole sitter, not too far up off of him. Dalton Creech sitting in 3rd place, trying to defend from Jim Duda. Creech is a newcomer to this league. We haven't seen him a whole heck of a lot, and Jim Duda, not somebody we've talked about him a decent amount, but not somebody we've seen run up in the top 5 this early on in the show. He's usually a late race bloomer, but Jim Duda gets up into 3rd place, puts himself onto the podium. 8 laps into this thing at Bristol. That 053 machine looking strong here at the start.
Everybody's separated themselves so far throughout the field. Closest cars are back here in 11th, led by Dominic Chisholm and Sean Huffsteller. Both in a Dodge. One's got Dodge and one's got Mopar on it.
And they both got Mopar on the hood of those machines. I tell you what, that Dominic Chisholm machine, we've seen him running up front throughout the course of this season. Sits in 11th place right now. You know he's going to want a little bit more. Same with Sean Huffsteller. We've seen him week in and week out doing the dirty work, running through the trenches, and getting it done when the end of these races come along. Bristol being a little bit different of a beast than we're used to. We've seen a lot of one-groove racetracks with this crew. This is a different beast. You guys can run the top side. You guys can run the bottom side. Shoot, you can even make the middle work a little bit.
Yeah, and you're going to see them switch around on the lanes all throughout the night, whichever one they can find most grip on. And right now, it's about anywhere you can think of. You see drivers running the middle, you see them running up top, you see them running down low. That's good.
Absolutely everywhere on the racetrack. These guys trying to get everything they can. True racers getting it done here today at Bristol. And I tell you what, this Thomas Green machine has not let Ali Fonseca get away. He's trying to figure out how to set up the exit of these corners to get around him. He's got a much better exit, gives up a little bit throughout the course of the entry and the middle. Now he moves down to the bottom side. Here comes the 3-car. Thomas Green looking to the inside of Fonseca, but Fonseca through that middle line. He's got a little bit of a run up on the top side, able to hold on to that position.
So Green just trying to figure out what he can do to get around the 42 of Fonseca here. And trying to see if he can get on the exit, but it's so hard to pass around Bristol. You got to give up one or the other. And while these two are battling it out, that's allowing Jim Duda back in third to really reel him in.
Jim Duda in that 053 car. We mentioned we haven't seen him running up front a lot at the beginning portion of these races, but he's putting it down a stout start to this race. He's running in third place, chasing down these leaders. He's got Dalton Creech, a newcomer to this league, coming up behind him. But Jim Duda putting down a phenomenal show here. We've got Justin Sipes sitting in 5th place, rocking the top side. Danny Cochran just behind him. Isaac Shelley, Mason Cassidy, Braxton DeWeese, and Owen Joyce rounding out our top 10. Once again, we do appreciate all of the Braxton DeWeese fans. We'll go ahead and show him on the screen as much as you'd like. Sorry about that. Go ahead and show him on the screen as much as you'd like, but if there's any other race fans out here who want to see their favorite driver on the screen, go ahead, drop it in the chat. We'll make sure it happens.
All right, now we got a battle for the lead. Green has been looking under Fonseca for the last lap. Now he drops back. See if he can build up the momentum once again. And as a driver, you just know the guy in third and fourth are catching up. The longer you battle, and the longer you battle, the sooner you're going to catch up into lap traffic. They got about a straightaway and a quarter of a corner before they see their first lap car. You want to get by and be in control of this thing.
Yeah, you absolutely do, but like you said, sitting behind that 42 machine, you don't have a whole heck of a lot of straightaway to put the power down if you're strong on exit as the 3-car. See Ollie getting a little bit looser coming up off of turn 4. Here comes Justin Sipes down to the inside of Dalton Creech down in turns 1 and 2. Sipes has been strong all season. He's another guy who's shown late race pace, but he's rocking that top side right up next to the wall and making strong runs up off of the corner. Now look at him, goes right up next to it, gets up into the wall there. That's going to hurt him a little bit as Danny Cochran now looks down to the inside of that 55 machine.
You got to wonder, is this by design for Fonseca? Is he saving tires or has he burned his tires up? Looks to be a little bit slower than all of his competitors directed behind him. And oh my, he blinks out momentarily. Not what you want to do when you're leading a thing.
Absolutely not, dude. That's going to scare you a little bit when you see everybody disappear in your rear view. And also for Thomas Green in 2nd place, you see that guy disappear, you don't know if he's coming back. Going to be a tough deal. Dalton Creech able to get back around Justin Sipes for 4th place. Sipes, obviously, we saw him get up into the wall. But Dalton Creech putting on a phenomenal show sitting here in 4th place, right behind Jim Duda. The dude getting it done here in 3rd place. Creech continues to keep that 55 behind him, though, and if you're Justin Sipes, you've got to be thinking, how can I cross this guy over? Can I get up to the top? He tried it there, not enough space. These super late models a little bit shorter and a little bit wider than you'd expect for a lot of these race cars. And definitely gets tough to make a move here, especially in tight quarters of Bristol Motor Speedway.
You see Danny Cochran, he was able to get to the inside on the last lap. So you know Sipes is screaming to get around Dalton Creech. And Dalton Creech, he is right there on the back end of John Duda. Jim, rather.
Little bit of contact there out of the 55 of Justin Sipes. Gets into the back of the 36 coming up off of the corner. Just letting him know he's there. Now he's got the door. He's side by side, dead even. Gonna have a huge run coming up off of the corner here. Advantage 55 getting into the corner, but goes wide there. Touches the wall once again. Put the 36 Dalton Creech back up in front by a car length for now. Tell you what, that 55, he's just scraping the wall, though. It doesn't seem to be hurting his car a whole lot, but
absolutely
not what he
not.
wants for momentum.
Yeah, and it's only going to get tough as he's got two of them directly in front of him running in the same line. He's not going to be able to clear and cut down, and actually Creech goes up as we get a caution, first caution of the night on the track, and it's down in turn number 4, and he is off down.
Blaze Richardson is upside down. Oh, wow.
Shades of Casey Kane right there.
The second time tonight that 18 machine has been on his lid. Blaze Richardson. Go back a little bit further, try to see where that started, but he's racing with that 32, and they both got up on the wall, riding it there. So hard into the wall coming up off of turn number 2. Then, yeah, just comes down, hits that 32. Both guys hit the wall pretty hard, start riding up on it. A big damage for that 18 machine, turning over 2.5 times, getting stuck on his lid.
So we're going to be about 40 laps into this thing. I'll take over to 14 this time around.
These laps are absolutely flying by.
So Fonseca been in control the entire night so far of this feature. Took the lead over Green early on. But Green has been right on Fonseca pretty much the whole entire run. You just got to wonder, has Fonseca been saving tires, or did he burn them up early, and did Green save anything?
Well, you got to hope so with 80 laps to go this time around. I mean, these guys definitely have been putting on a show, putting on some of the fastest laps we've been able to see throughout the course of the night. But like you said, are they using a little bit too much? Is Jim Duda sitting in the right spot in third place, falling back just a little bit? Dalton Creech also, you've seen him race hard, but hasn't quite pushed as hard as these top two up in the front row, the 42 and the 3. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how these tires wear out throughout the course of the next 80 laps. Obviously, with these high banks, high speeds, this is going to be some of the biggest loads we've seen put on these tires throughout the course of the season. So that might make these guys just a little bit more wary as they move throughout the course of this race.
Yeah, and there is no spare tires down in the pit, so whatever you do, you pretty much got to live with. As we do have our first 2 DNFs of the night, Jarrett Talmadge back in 24 from Blaze Richardson back in 25th. They have called it a night. So that's where those 2 will end up. Still 23 cars on the track, all 23 on the lead lap. Lights are out on the pace car for Fonseca and Green to see the green flag out of Barney's hand. Come down in turn number 4 here into the Geico restart zone, and Fonseca, he is off and out in front of green, and here comes Jim Duda to the inside of green, looking for second off turn number 2, and Sipes out in front of Creech as well.
Yeah, Sipes with a huge run up on the top side, gets out in front of Creech. Jim Duda trying that bottom side, unable to complete the pass there on the 3 of Thomas Green. Saw 1 or 2 of them hit the wall there coming down the front straightaway. Absolutely phenomenal restart and phenomenal call here from Corey. Definitely appreciate having him up in the booth here as there's Justin Sipes continuing to rock that outside. We saw him get up into the wall right there. It looked like Dalton Creech slid up just a little bit. Not quite enough for contact there, but Justin Sipes put him up into 4th place, and now he's all over the back bumper of Jim Duda. The dude trying to hold on to 3rd place.
So we got another caution on here. Uh-oh, who is it?
Oh, and it looks like Kralik is turned around sideways there. Brandon Elvis as well gets caught up in that. The 3rd caution of the day. Coming out here 50 laps into the thing. 2nd caution, rather. And see what happened to Aaron Kralik to bring that one up. Racing at the tail of the field here. Might have been some reactionary... Oh, the 54... and the 22 get together in front of him.
So Elvis and Jim Center.
That's the 2nd time we've seen Jim Center take a hefty hit there. Getting down into or hefty hit head on into the wall. We'll see about Center there in just a moment. See the 54 and the 54 racing each other. That's Mo Perry and Brandon Elvis. Elvis gets turned sideways, the 22. Nowhere for Kralik to go, and he gets turned sideways.
Christopher Smith there in that blue numbered car.
Second caution of the day, 50 laps into this one here at Bristol. These guys have definitely been very kind throughout the course of the feature here. Saw a little bit of aggression coming out throughout the heat race, but it's a little bit more room being given here in the early settings of this 120 lap feature here with the super late model stock cars.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Ollie Fonseca sits in front. Thomas Green to his outside. Jim Duda and Justin Sipes in row number 2. Danny Cochran sits in 5th with Dalton Creech to his inside. Cochran actually put him to 6th with the top side. Well, Corey, we've got ourselves another restart here. Going to be 50 laps complete this time around. This thing's been a banger so far, and I expect that to continue.
Absolutely. This thing's been going by super quick, and here we go. Fonseca back on the loud pedal. Gets a good jump over Green. Green had a little bit better that time. He's going to look on the outside quarter of Fonseca, and he is right there on the outside. Can he utilize that momentum? And here comes Sipes for 3rd over Duda. He's been the one utilizing the outside.
Around down the front straightaway goes the 3 car. Dominic Rossi around once again. A big crash here as the 22 Jim Center is upside down.
Oh, not the Slim Jim.
Well, you know what they say. They say cautions breed cautions, and that seems to be what we are seeing here. Take a quick look to see what happened here. Center gets sideways coming up off of 4, gets into the 3. A huge hit from Rob Hackback sends that 22 up into the catch fence for a wild ride.
And no help to
54
get back over.
Yeah, 54, Brandon Elvis involved in that one as well. See the 19 Owen Joyce, Mo Perry nowhere to go. Such a wild ride for that 50 or that 22 of Jim Center.
And I just now got the idea of the Slim Jim car. Either he likes Slim Jims enough, or he took his last name's first initial and his first name's first initial.
Jim Center in the Slim Jim car makes a little bit of sense to me.
So we'll call him the Slim Jim Man.
Yes, sir. Slim Jim Center, unfortunately, got turned upside down in that one. Gonna be tough for him to make the finish in this one, but definitely not impossible at this point. That crew obviously doesn't have a damaged vehicle policy to adhere to, so they get that thing towed back to the finish line and to the pit lane. Those guys can put some work to it.
His team on the backstretch pit road. Next question is, are these guys good on fuel? Or will fuel be a question later in the race?
These guys should be good on fuel. These cautions only help. But these guys, they set up the races kind of designed to not have to make a fuel stop. But we did see a couple of weeks ago at our longest night of the year, I believe at Myrtle Beach, those guys had to come in, take fuel. No tires, of course, allotted for these drivers, but well, we've got a restart coming our way. Ollie Fonseca, Thomas Green, Thomas Sipes, or Justin Sipes rather, Jim Duda, and Dalton Creech round out your top 5.
Well, you get the call on this one here, Liam.
Yes, sir. All on the gas. Green flag is out. Ollie Fonseca gets hard on the throttle. Justin Sipes looks down to the inside of Thomas Green. Green with the strong run up tops. Looks like he's able to continue on. Car sideways down the back straightaway. Sean Huffstelter, I believe, or no, Dalton Creech was the one. Mo Perry, and a caution has come out because Owen Joyce has gone around down the back straightaway. Take a look at what happened there. All sorts of action. We'll jump back from the restart with Owen Joyce. Sitting on the top in that 19 GoPro machine. We take the green flag. Frolic with a big run down to the inside. Trying to go to the and just trying to cut down in front of Mo Perry to get around Todd Lamphere. Gets hooked there and turned to the inside wall.
So a little bit of caution being thrown here. Cautions breed cautions, and look at who's up in second. That is Sipes. Might be worrisome for Fonseca out front. We've seen Sipes strong on the outside on every drop of the green. Had to go on the bottom the last restart over green, and was able to just nudge out ahead before the caution flag was thrown.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at Sipes' restart there. Sipes sitting in third, right behind Ollie Fonseca, just gets on it as soon as Fonseca does. Jim Duda has no chance to defend, decides to jump in behind him, take that bottom side, try to follow through with Thomas Green. You see the 36 getting sideways there, but the caution coming out right here with Justin Sipes out in front, able to take away second place.
So as Fonseca, are you now worried that the driver that's been strong all night on the high side is on your outside if he can get a good jump?
I feel like if you're Fonseca at this point, you're sitting halfway through this race and you've led damn near the whole thing at this point. You can't be worried. It doesn't matter who's behind you. You just got to keep racing the track instead of racing the drivers. However, if you're Justin Sipes, you've got a whole outside line of opportunity up in front of you here that you know Ali Fonseca is not using. So could we see Justin Sipes try the outside, try to take a pass for the lead here on this restart? I'm sure it's a possibility, but I think it comes down to how well Ali Fonseca can get on the gas here on this initial restart, because nobody has been better than that 42 throughout the course of the race on getting on the gas initially when the green flag comes out.
Yeah, and obviously Fonseca will have that advantage of when he decides to fire off. We're past the halfway mark. This race has gone by quick. We ain't even a half an hour through.
Yeah, this has been definitely a quick race here. I'm going to go ahead and ride on board with Braxton DeWeese here for just a few moments since his chat has been relatively silent on the YouTube, so we'll give you something a little bit to talk about. There's Chris DeWeese getting up on here. We're ready to rock and rumble once again for the restart. Ali Fonseca going to lead them down. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. Justin Sipes gets snookered on that restart. Thomas Green back to the inside. Sipes rocks the outside, though, and is able to take away second place. They're side by side for third and fourth as Justin Sipes gets up to the top side in the 55 machine. Rather, that's Isaac Shelley. Justin Sipes a little bit further up. He's in second place trying to defend, though, as Jim Duda. Isaac Shelley touches the wall there, so it looks like the 15 Braxton DeWeese might have as well. Isaac Shelley up on the top side. Somebody might have had a problem there on the restart, though. We see a little bit of smoke on the front-hand side of the racetrack. Owen Joyce way off the pace with some damage. Might have been the culprit of that smoke there on the front straightaway. We continue on. Ali Fonseca leads over Justin Sipes. Thomas Green in third, Isaac Shelley, then Jim Duda rounding out the top five. Next side-by-side battle is Dominic Chisholm working the top side, or rather now here comes Isaac Shelley on the top side of Jim Duda. Isaac Shelley rides the wall!
Oh my, and somehow he saves it and we still get a caution. Has to be at the back. Yeah, we about wrecked post-caution too.
Yeah, Rob Hattenback turned around. That seems to be the reason for the caution, potentially in reaction to what we saw Isaac Shelley do. But Shelley gets up Herbie, fully loaded style, touches the wall, stays up onto the, or touches the catch fence with those tires, stays on the lead lap, doesn't even get turned around with that. We'll go ahead and check what happened to Rob Hattenback to bring out this caution. 67 laps into the show.
You see Rob Hattenback.
Yeah,
a little loose
on his own. Didn't even seem to be reactionary to the 98 in front of him. Just a little too much throttle. Gets turned around coming up off of 4. Isaac Shelley's coming through pit lane.
So Shelley gonna get that car checked out by his crew. Check the damage out. I don't see too bad of damage, but he might feel something underneath that car. He does have a meatball flag. The officials are showing him the meatball, so he has to come in. He had no other choice.
Yeah, tough deal for him. However, we've got all sorts of action happening up front. We see a lot of these guys sitting on the apron here under these caution flags, and that kind of makes me wonder what you were earlier, Corey. Is fuel going to be a question here? Are these guys trying to save something, keep it down on the inside, run a shorter distance? What is the strategy call here with running on the apron?
Well, the fuel pickup is on the right side of these cars. If they're anything like the cup cars, so they're just trying to keep the fuel in the fuel pickup system running down on the flat apron around here instead of up on the banking. And then some of them might be dumping the clutch or shutting the car off to save some gas. Maybe a little off on making it all the way if we didn't have all these cautions.
Sir, as we jump back to the chat here, seems like everybody liked it when I put Braxton DeWeese on the screen here. Woohoo, we'll take that. Let's go 15. Great starting spot. Alan's Art Images, very happy to be a sponsor on that 15 machine. And go ahead and check out Alan's Art Images. He proud sponsor of that Braxton DeWeese machine, that 15 car. However, we've got 1 lap to go for the restart here. Lap 72, going to be 73 at the green flag. 33 viewers here on Sim Racing Media. I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in for this phenomenal racing action. These guys get to put on a show. I'm just lucky enough to talk about it. Corey, I know you probably feel the same way here, but that pace car making the hard left turn up into the pits. Ollie Fonseca hard on the gas. Justin Sipes got on it a little bit quicker, had to let off, but still side by side getting up through turns 1 and 2. Strong run up on the outside. Ollie can't use up all the racetrack he wants to. The 55 tags the wall just a little bit, gives Thomas Green the chance to get down to the inside. Clear for the race lead is Ollie Fonseca. Fonseca gets the wall. Duda goes sideways down the front straightaway. Dominic Chisholm is involved as well, and the caution comes out once again here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
So it being triggered by Duda sideways there.
You see the contact there between Chisholm and Duda. Both guys able to keep it straight, but they come back up out of the racetrack. Race control doesn't really know what's going on. They throw the caution there for the incident up at the front of the field. So 75 laps complete this time around out of 120. Ollie Fonseca has been leading basically through and through, but he's had hard chargers from Justin Sipes and Thomas Green right behind him. Tell you what, it's going to be tough for that 42 to keep that lead, but he's been the best all day. I'll say it's going to be just as tough to get around him.
Yeah, and speaking of hard chargers right now, that is Justin Potter, who is officially being scored in 5th. They are jumbling around here on your board as they all are riding around as low as they can get. Not to mention Dominic Chisholm up 14 spots as well. So those two on the move throughout the night. And as these laps wind down, it is just going to get tougher and tougher to start making up spots.
Yes, sir, it is at a track as tough to pass as Bristol, with multiple lanes being able to be run. But these cars, they're super tough to pass in too. I mean, these things have so much downforce, so much mid-corner speed. It's really tough to catch somebody off throttle, catch them in a mistake, and make that pass coming up off the corner, especially with how short the straightaways here at Bristol are.
Absolutely. So Sipes is going to have another good shot on Fonseca up on the high side. I just think that high side has gone away. He's going to have to make a move quick to get to the bottom.
Yeah, that outside's going to be a big ask on these tires, especially this late into the show. Almost 80 laps put on these tires. And we saw Justin trying the outside on that last restart, hit the wall, ran up on it just a little bit, but continues on. You see the right front damage on that 55 machine, but Justin Sipes Gonna scoot up to the top side once again on the outside of Ali Fonseca. Haven't seen anybody better on restarts on the top side than that 55, so I think if he can keep it in there, he might have a shot, but last time around on the restart, he got a little bit loose, had to defend from Thomas Green. We'll see what happens this time around.
Drivers are going to see the Geico restart zone taking over to lap 80 once they get to the line. Fonseca, the one in control here. And he is on it, and he has Sipes cleared. He'll go up to block Sipes under pressure from Green now, and
Sipes
now look
with
at
a huge
Sipes
run up on
actually.
the top side. Side by side down into 3 and 4. They were dead even on entry, but Sipes stays strong up on the top side, uses up all the racetrack he can. Little bit of contact coming up off of turn 4. These guys keep it straight. Sipes with a strong run coming up off of turn number 2. Gets loose. Almost hits the 42. Able to keep it straight. Both guys still running their hearts out. Top side is going to prevail. Justin Sipes leads that lap here at Bristol. Now here comes Ali Fonseca. He gets into Sipes. Sipes into the wall.
Not good for Sipes. He's going to drop back behind Dalton Creech now.
And around goes Sipes.
Contact made.
Oh, man. And now Todd Lamphere and the 3 as well get caught up in that. Nowhere to go for them. You saw that 3 machine. Dominic Rossi catching up, got into the back of the 55 and sent him into Todd Lamphere. Tough break for all of these guys. We're going to go ahead and take another look at what happened to bring out this caution at lap number 84. Sipes running hard, gets put up into the wall. Now he's 3 wide with Danny Cochran and the 15 of DeWeese. Comes back down, a little contact with the 36. Gets him sent sideways, turned around up against the wall. Here comes the 3 trying to lock up and avoid it. Unfortunately,
Lamphere involved
55.
there. Smith taking invasive action. And then he hits Lamphere again.
That's going to be a tough one. We're going to go ahead and take our second break here of the day. We'll be right back with the finish here. 35 laps to go here at Bristol for the Larry Arts Productions 120. We're live here on Sim Racing Media. Two and a half minutes, but I'll take away the second commercial if I have to, so yeah. Got 2 minutes.
And Danny needing a good, strong finish here. Oh no! Not DeWeese. Oh, and they're still wrecking. Maybe a little bit too hard into the corner for Creech. Gets into the back end there of DeWeese. So tough break, and I'm sure DeWeese probably isn't too happy right now at Creech. But this is good for Danny Cochran, who came into this race 21 points behind Braxton DeWeese, needing to pick up some points here over that driver. And this is going to certainly help out, pending how far up DeWeese can recover. And the closing laps here at Bristol Motor Speedway for the virtual All-Star, or whatever it is. What is it? Mm-hmm. I got the virtual part correct. I forgot the two T's here. Yeah. Look at this. Fonseca electing to take the high side here. Interesting strategy out of Fonseca, the 42. He's going to have the advantage either way. And so lights are off. Danny trying to get as many spots as he can for as many points over DeWeese. And speaking of DeWeese, he is trying to charge up through this field, but look out in front of him here, Liam. There's a lot of cars for him to pass. Oh, and we got a wreck at the back.
All right, we apologize for my mic issues, but Corey has been here. We've got a caution out on the racetrack once again. Sean Huffsutton turned around. See what happened to him this time around with less than 30 laps to go. Oh, around on the front straightaway. Mo Perry riding the wall, Herbie fully loaded style. Tough break for the 9 machine there. Fonseca continues to lead this race. 19 laps to go. He's led pert near every lap of the race. I think outside of the first lap that was led by Thomas Green, Ali Fonseca took the lead on lap number 2 and hasn't really led a lap. Sipes did lead a lap, yes. Running up on the top side.
Sipes has exited stage left. We have 5 DNFs on the night. Sean Huffstutler still on the track, but a lot of damage back there in 20th on the lead lap. So everybody on track, lead lap.
Yeah, I tell you what, let's go ahead and bring Ali Fonseca up in here. Ali, we pulled you from the driver's lounge. You're leading the race. You led all but like 3 laps so far. What have you got in store for these last 18 laps?
Oh boy. I don't know, man. Just doing my best to hold off Thomas Green here. Track's definitely changing. Starting to work the top. I'm taking the top on the restart again. Just a lot more grippy up there, so I'm gonna just see what I can do here. It's gonna be a challenge.
Yeah, before we let you go, I wanted to ask, what was the driving factor to make the call to start up top that last time?
I'm sorry, I had the spotter in my ear. What was the question?
What made you choose the top side last time and this time?
Oh, yeah, just the grip on the top. It seems to be coming in. Plus, the last few times I took the bottom, I just felt like I was getting beat, and they were pulling me around the high side there. So I'm just trying something different.
Awesome stuff. Appreciate you joining us here. We'll get you set back to driver's lounge for the restart.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ali Fonseca, very kind to join us up here. 17 laps to go. Going to be 16 at the restart. Pace car's about to make that hard left turn, Corey.
Yeah, here we go. Fonseca on the loud paddle, but Green, good launch for him on the bottom. He's going to clear Fonseca. Green, new leader, and he has it good over Fonseca. Fonseca back on the bottom. Not enough grip on the exit of 4. Green leads that lap since the beginning of this race. We have ourselves a new leader.
Thomas Green, our pole sitter on the day, gets back out front with 15 laps to go. We're side by side for a top 5 spot with Chisholm and the 17 of Mason Cassidy. We haven't talked a whole heck of a lot about Cassidy all day, but here he is running 7 spots up from where he started. Look at the race for the lead right now, though. Thomas Green defending from Ali Fonseca. Fonseca gets in deep. A little bit of contact made, and it looks like there's contact on the front straightaway. Caution has come out. I think Fonseca's going to go ahead and take away the race lead, but a huge crash down the back straightaway. Braxton DeWeese upside down the back straightaway with no help to turn him back over. That's going to result in a tow, and Ali Fonseca gets turned!
What?
We have a lot to unpack right there. Golly gee. First off, we'll start with the yellow flag. Crashing coming up off of turn number 2 with Braxton DeWeese. We'll get a better angle there. DeWeese gets turned by the 51 around. Gets hit. That's going to be what turns him over. Dalton Creech with heavy damage. Todd Lamphere, Justin Potter.
Potter backs up here.
Owen
maybe
Joyce. Sean Huffsutton as well. We're going to try to figure out what happened with Fonseca. He got turned by Thomas Green on the front straightaway under caution. Danny Cochran, you see, he's making a move down to the inside. The caution is out at this point.
So you got to wonder, is this revenge for moving him out of the way?
Yeah, is this salt or just a simple mistake? They come up onto the Braxton DeWeese car who's upside down. I can't really put malicious intent to that. Obviously, we up in the booth, we've got a little bit better angle than some of the guys up onto the racetrack, but we'll go ahead take a blimp look at this. I think Thomas Green was just too close to the back bumper of the 42 when he checked up for the 15 car being upside down just off of the racing surface, half on the racing surface. That's a really tough call to make here from the booth. But a hefty hit there for Ali Fonseca, and that's definitely going to hurt him in terms of trying to win this race.
Tough break for DeWeese, forcing into a toe, and that pretty much chalks him off. He'll be scored back in 19th, 3 laps down now, so...
Tough break for the 15 and the fans of the 15. I see Alan's Art Images jumping up in here saying the driving tonight is careless as hell. And I would like to argue that we've seen plenty more races with more cautions. I mean, we've got some good racing happening here, but when you've got 25 drivers running at a short track like this, there's just so much happening everywhere. Every position matters to these guys. We'll see them racing hard for 3rd place, just as hard as they race for 23rd. And it's definitely a detriment to somebody who wants to watch a race go green the whole time, but we got 25 drivers out here, kind of all running their own different storylines, so definitely a tough deal for all of those involved in that one. Braxton DeWeese getting turned upside down, has to take a tow. That's going to put him down a couple of laps, but definitely understand the frustration out of the race fans here. It's tough when your favorite driver gets taken out at the end. I know I was I was rooting for Tyler Reddick today in the Cup race. Kept thinking something was going to take him out. Well, I guess the bottom line is we're all race fans here, and definitely gets tough when you see your favorite get taken out. Lights are off on the pace car once again. We've got 8 laps to go here at Bristol. This race could be done in as soon as 2.5 minutes. Just, you know, we've got 14-second laps here at Bristol Motor Speedway. 14.3 was one of the quickest ones we saw in qualifying. The quickest lap of the race, however, looks like it falls in the hands of Thomas Green with a 14.42. Sits on the outside. Ali Fonseca hard on the gas already. Green flag is out. Thomas Green still has a fender up on top. Now he's to the door. Big crash. Thomas Walters. Huge crash going down into turn number 1. Jim Duda gets turned around as well. That's going to bring out the caution once again. Sean Huffstutler involved in another one just in front of these guys. Aaron Kralik is around. Right as soon as we get to green, we go back to yellow flag.
So a lot more to unpack here under this caution. See which cars all were involved. So maybe not a good start for Duda and Kralik. Just contact there, and
yeah, it looks like Duda missed a shift potentially or something on the restart there. Had him a little bit of a problem. Kralik looks down to the middle trying to make it 3 wide. Gets into Thomas Walter and sets that whole piece off. Try it once again here from the... yeah, just that little bit of contact between the 0-1 and 57 set the whole thing off. Tough break for these guys on the restart, but we should be heading into overtime.
yeah, this caution should take us over into overtime territory. If not, very, very close. We're going to tick over to lap 118 here. Yeah, I'd say green, white, checkered is coming up. Green, white, checkered number 1. And you got to wonder, is Green still having a grudge over Fonseca for moving him up the track?
Well, I'm more concerned with Fonseca's pace. We saw him hit head on into the wall after that contact with the 3 car, and I don't think it was anything malicious. I think it was just getting checked up. You had a car flipped over on the backstretch, 42 checked up, and the 3 was just too close to be able to react. I don't think there was anything malicious in there, but maybe driver interviews might tell us a little something else. This is obviously just us hoping for drama here, but it's going to be 2 laps to go at the restart. Lights still on the pace car. Ollie Fonseca leads over Thomas Green, Danny Cochran, Dominic Chisholm, Brandon Elvis, Dominic Rossi, Owen Joyce, Dakota Moniz, Rob Hattenbach, and Todd Lamphere recovering quite nicely in 10th place.
So DeWeese 3 laps down. He's going to need all green, white, checkers to come out in order to get back on the lead lap. Currently being scored 17th. Next car is out of Aaron Krolick. Cassidy's on pit road and Mo Perry's on pit road. So right now, DeWeese pretty well, unless something else happens to other competitors, he'll be holding on to 17th.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We've got ourselves a couple more laps and a couple more tries at this one here. Lights still on the iRacing sedan pace car, so we're going to take another lap around before we get this thing ready, gridded to rock and roll. But Fonseca over Green, Cochran, Chisholm, and Brandon Elvis in the top 5. Only one driver in the top 5 has lost any positions here today, and that's Thomas Green sitting in 2nd place. He was your pole sitter, so he's lost that one position. Otherwise, Ollie Fonseca, he's up 1. Danny Cochran, he's up 7 positions. Dominic Chisholm up 14, and Brandon Elvis. Did we just get the finish?
I guess we did. I guess no green, white, checkers.
No green, white checkers. Ollie Fonseca wins the race. Thomas Green, Danny Cochran, Dominic Chisholm. And Brandon Elvis round out your top 5. So we're going to go ahead and bring up the results here. And my apologies for not quite understanding there, but...
Well, I thought for sure we were going to have a green, white, checkered too. Maybe. I don't remember things. I'm pretty sure we had green, white, checkers last week, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I think maybe with the new session rules, things might not have been able to get put together. I don't know what the deal was, but either way, we've got the checkered flag out. Ollie Fonseca, Thomas Green, Danny Cochran, Dominic Chisholm, Brandon Elvis, Dominic Rossi, Owen Joyce, Dakota Moniz, Rob Hattenbach, and Todd Lamphere round out the top 10. We got Thomas Walter, Dalton Creech, Justin Potter, Christopher Smith, Sean Huffstetler, Jim Duda, Braxton DeWeese, Aaron Krolick. After Krolick, we've got Cassidy, Mo Perry, Justin Sipes, Isaac Shelley, Jim Center, Jarrett Talmadge, Blaze Richardson, and Steve Cigars unable to start the race. But we're going to go ahead and bring in our race winner first off, Ollie Fonseca. Ollie, I tell you what, we were kind of expecting a green-white checker right there, but didn't end up happening. You come away with the race win. Walk us through your race, man. You were dominant the whole time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say. That was crazy. It was funny right after the interview you guys pulled me in for. I was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna take the top," and then next thing I know, Thomas he got an insane jump on me on that restart, and he got around me, and I threw everything in the kitchen sink to get back at him, and I got into him a little bit. I'll take part of the blame. I kind of slid up a little bit and moved him out of the way, but that I didn't wreck him by any means. It's just how it is. Last few laps on a short track. And then he told me he didn't mean to, but he hooked me under caution, and I head on nosed the wall there, and I thought my race was done. I thought for sure that was it. But I guess the iRacing gods decided to grace me. No meatball, no on GRPMs loss, just kept it going. And then yeah, I was expecting a green white checker too, but you know, it is what it is. You know, as Cal Naughton said, I know it's a technicality, but you know, I'll sock you in the face to try to take this one away from me.
Yeah, and I was going to bring up that contact under yellow with you and Thomas. It looked like with Braxton DeWeese turned upside down on the back straightaway, there was a little bit of reaction, and he was pretty close to you there, but didn't really turn out in your favor initially. But obviously, like you said, no meatball, no nothing there.
Yeah, it was it definitely caught me by surprise. And I know he didn't mean to do it on purpose. You know, I was expecting something for getting into him, but I wasn't expecting to get, you know, nosed into the fence. But I guess I caught a break there, so that was nice.
Also, you raced really hard with the 55, Justin Sipes. Kind of walk us through how that battle went on your end.
Yeah, just doing all I can to use all the racetrack I could, and there was one time off of two, I kind of squeezed him, and I apologized to him over the mic, although he barely skimmed the wall, so you know we kept racing, we were fine. Then there was another restart where it was kind of the same thing as me and Thomas Green there, just us two going after the same real estate. I had room on the bottom and he had room on the top, and I think I slid up a little bit. Again, didn't wreck him, just kind of got into him a little bit, and I'm not sure what happened to him after that. I feel bad, but that's just the way it goes, man.
Well, awesome stuff, Ollie. You put on a phenomenal race here today. Who do you want to thank for such a strong run?
Yeah, you know, just all the guys that show up and make this league possible. You know, I know it's been a bit of a rocky road, but I think the racing tonight was a lot cleaner than it has been on most nights. And you know, just the people watching, my parents, my grandparents, everyone that cheers this 42 car on. It's about time I finally got one of these, so it's pretty damn cool.
Well, awesome stuff, Ollie. We appreciate you joining us up in the booth. Go ahead and celebrate that race win, man. Dover, or
Yes, sir.
Bristol,
Yes,
rather.
sir.
Bristol, that's a pretty prestigious track to win at.
Yeah, man, one hell of a track to finally get one at. Thanks, guys.
That was Ollie Fonseca, your race winner. We'll go ahead and bring in second place, Thomas Green. Corey, I believe you should have Thomas.
Hey there, Thomas. You get a copy on me?
Yes, sir.
Well, holding on to second. Unfortunate no green-white checkers here tonight for a final hoorah towards Ollie Fonseca. Talk us through what your thought process was going to be if we did have one.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it would get a little physical. I was definitely getting ready to be physical. What happened under the caution was I just talked to him there for a second. It was not supposed to happen. It was meant to just give him a bump, just a little show of displeasure, but it neck coated him around and completely messed them all up. I told Danny, I was like, I'll take a points penalty if there is one. He said no, but I don't know. It wasn't intentional, but yeah, we were definitely getting ready to get physical. We were starting to really kind of time the restarts a lot better when he was going, and you know, I was just hoping to have another shot at it. Sucks that there wasn't a green white checkered this week, but yeah, I mean, good finish overall. I'm still having a good little streak, so I'm happy with it.
Absolutely good little finish here tonight at Bristol. You got anybody like to thank tonight?
Just shout out to Anna for always supporting me, and shout out to you guys for the broadcast.
There you have it, folks. Your second place driver, Thomas Green.
We got Thomas Green, and now we've got ourselves third place finisher, Danny Cochran. Danny, I tell you what, that didn't come easy, but you come away with the podium finish. Talk to us about your race.
Yeah, I just tried to save my tires in the first part there, focus on the long game. Well, I think I did a pretty good job of that, and then we had that really long green flag run. I saved my stuff, so once we hit about the halfway mark where we started having all those cautions, that's when I started pushing a little bit more, and I was able to work up through there some. The 15 unfortunately had a couple incidents, and that took out some of the guys around me up there, and I was able to get by it. That put me in a decent spot, and I was just kind of able to hang on to it there till the end. I was hoping that we'd have some green-white checkers there, but either I don't know what happened, if it was an iRacing thing or what happened there, but we didn't have any, which is really disappointing because I was wanting to feel like I had a shot at the win there. But I mean, can't be too upset coming away with a third place finish. Definitely helped me in points. Unfortunately, Braxton had some stuff not go his way tonight. Along with, I think Dominic got fourth. So it tightened up the points race quite a bit, but yeah, all in all, pretty happy with the third place finish.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned the 15. Kind of talk us through how it was racing with him and those incidents that came about getting through those.
Yeah, there was some weird contact going on tonight, like some guys not actually touching, but folks getting sent into the fence, along with, I don't know, just a few different things happening up front, battling hard. I know at one point the 55 got in the wall. Like, this was like right after a restart, so a bunch of us were still single file. So me and the 15, we had to like squeeze down. We had to make 3 lanes at Bristol, which ain't easy to do, but we worked it all out, negotiated it pretty well, and came away with 0 incidents tonight. So kept the car clean. The Larry Arts Productions machine here in the Larry Arts Productions 120 kept it clean and brought home a decent result. So pretty happy with that.
Yeah, you certainly did. You might be the only guy on the field to be able to say you came away with no X's, no incidents. Is there anybody you want to thank for such a strong performance? Obviously, you mentioned Larry Arts Productions, very kind to be the race sponsor here today for the Larry Arts Productions 120.
Yeah, especially him, all he does, being on my car, the white flag sponsor, as well as the race sponsor tonight. So stoked to get him up here on the podium tonight. Buddy's Custom Baits, Hot Lap Designs, all the guys that come out and put the show on every week, all the drivers that stick through the nonsense like the tire issue last week, or like tonight with the no green white checkers. So appreciate all those guys sticking it out through all the nonsense. You guys broadcasting through all the nonsense, as well as all the folks watching at home that root for us every week putting on a show. We really appreciate y'all, and looking forward to I think that was the 10th race of the season, so halfway through here. Yeah, just want to thank everybody that's stuck with us this far and through the end of the season.
Can't thank you enough for joining us up in the booth, and also for throwing on this league for us. We have just as much fun, if not more, calling this race up in the booth that I'd like to say than you guys do down there, but I am kind of jealous of the racing you guys have down there. So thanks for joining us, Danny, and we'll talk to you in a little bit.
Awesome, appreciate it, guys.
Well, I tell you what, that's gonna about do it for us here on Sim Racing Media. Corey, you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, that was pretty good racing. Maybe next time they come around here, they can throw a little bit of dirt on it. Give these drivers a spin.
We saw plenty of spins here. We'll see if we get any more sort of action here. Potentially some dirt moving on in the future. But a phenomenal race here at Bristol. Ollie Fonseca gets it done, and kind of unexpected finish with the green-white checkers not playing out the way that they were. But hey, I tell you what, I won my first ever league race at Daytona that way. I got lucky with green-white checkers supposed to come out that didn't. Was able to take away the checkered flag, and much like you said about Cal Naughton, you ain't taking that from me.
Absolutely.
Ollie gets it done here today, and that's going to get it done here for us on Sim Racing Media. We appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're still here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. Got fantastic racing 7 nights a week. That's going to do it for us. I'm Liam Errig, here with Corey B. up in the booth. Sim Racing Media, getting to watch the Virtual American Short Track Tour. Thanks once again for tuning in.